All right, what's up, fuckers? I'm here with yours truly. How are you, Raul?
Good, good. How you doing, boy?
Good, good. Glad to have you on the show
Sheesh.
again. League's co-founder, co-starring with me here. I invited Raul to my office here on my black couch so that I could tell him how he can earn $1,000 to $5,000 a day making videos.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
This is the backroom drafting couch. But before we get started, as you guys know, I always like to play a little game with my guests. And us being fans of the Giants and the Raiders respectively, I figured I could make it about our two teams since we're both just about equally as miserable this year. What do you think?
I think you're suffering a little more than me right now, to be honest.
Honestly, that might be true, and we might be in a little bit worse shape, but the point of this game is it's statistical and actually very closer than you think.
Hey, you might be right. You might be right.
All right. I'm going to read off 9 stat lines. I'm going to read off both of the stat lines, and then you're going to guess which team is the Giants and which team is the Raiders.
Okay.
It's 9 because you'll have to have 5-1 wins, 5 guesses correct to win the game. And I'm also giving you one hint. So the hint is going to be where the rankings are in the NFL respectively. So like, for example, I'm doing total yards per game. I'll give you the yards, but when you call your hint, stop looking at my fucking note sheet.
My bad. I'm just listening. Just listening.
I'll give you the hint and I'll give you the rankings for each team.
Okay.
You ready?
Go for it.
All right. So first of all, like I said, total yards per game. One team has 309. One team has 285.
The Raiders have 285.
All right, you got that one right. Ding, ding, ding. Next up, I have passing yards per game. One team has 209. One team has 189.
Sheesh. Neighbors is going off at the beginning of the season, so it's definitely the Giants at 209. Oh shit!
Somehow the Raiders have more passing yards per game.
All right.
Impressive. I wouldn't have
Hey,
guessed that
Minshew.
either. Okay, Minshew, but rest in peace as well because he's out for the rest of the season now.
We don't want you back, bro. I'm sorry.
What a quick turnaround of opinion.
Not my.
Next up, we'll do rushing yards per game. One team has 75 and one team has 119. Which one's which?
Tracy, Giants has.
Giants 119.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You got that right. So far you're 2-1. Let's move over into some scoring stats. So this is points per game scoring for each team. One team's at 18, one team's at 15.
Giants got 18 easily.
Thank you. I'm honored, but it's actually the opposite way around. The Giants are 15 points per game, which is 32nd in the league. Take a bow, Giants.
I think you need Saquon, bro.
Moving on. I don't want to talk about Saquon, okay? Moving on. These next two stats are about efficiency, so they're going to be percentage stats. This is where your hint might come in handy. So first we're going to do third down conversion rate. So one team is at 35.7. The other team's at 31.4.
The Raiders are at 35.
All right, you got that one correct.
Okay.
Next one is red zone touchdown rate. One team is at 39 and the other team is at 56.
Well, considering the Giants probably don't get to the red zone that much, and when they do, they probably score. It's probably the Giants with a higher red zone.
All right, you are making it interesting because that was not the right answer. So far, you've got every other one correct, so you're at 3-3
Okay.
going into the 7th question. So I'm going to admit I don't have your hint anymore. I don't have the rank. Wait, number 7, I have the rankings, so you might want to use your hint because the last 2 questions I don't have rankings.
Okay.
Number 7, points allowed per game. Talking about defenses now. One team is at 23.6, and the other team is at 27.8.
So the first one was 23.6 and 27.8.
Correct.
I feel like this is an easy question, but I'm definitely going to take my hint, just in case.
All right, the hint is the team at 27.8 is ranked 30th in the league. The team at 23.6 is ranked 21st.
The Giants are 23.
That makes you 3-4 going into the last two questions.
Giants that bad?
I guess they are.
Sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I know, but that's why this game was fun, right? Because they are so close that you really can't tell.
That's sad, bro. We should just turn the TV off and watch football again.
I mean, like I said, I might be a free agent fan after this year with the way my team is fucking handling things off the field, not even on the field. Like, whatever. That's a topic for another discussion. Last two questions. You're down by one, which means you have to win out on these last two and get them both right.
Clutch move.
This first one is going to be another per game statistic for the defense. Yards allowed per game. And so one team is allowing 368 and one team is allowing 375. So a 7-yard difference on average yards allowed.
So like you would think if a score they're allowing like an average of 23, they're
Points per game.
they'll probably make less yards, right?
Logic follows.
Right, but I'm not going with that. The Raiders have less average yards per game.
All right, you got that correct. The Raiders are at 368.
Okay.
The Giants are allowing 375. So it all hinges down to this one final question.
It's like me in the finals.
And I mean, it is what it is. This might be easy, it might be hard. Turnover differential. 1 point. One team is at -6. One team is at +2.
+2 is crazy.
+2 is crazy. So one of these defenses is much better than they seem.
Considering that we have like a bet going on, I kind of been watching, I guess, a little bit. Is it the Giants with +2?
It is not. It is not. We actually, with how horrible our offense has been playing, Daniel Turnover Jones has thrown a -6 turnover differential, and the Raiders are +2, so they have a better defense than people would have guessed.
I'm not giving the Raiders credit for anything. They're dog shit.
It's just luck somehow.
Right? It has to be something.
Something.
Fake stats.
Max Crosby?
I can see that.
Perhaps. All right, so thanks for playing the game. You weren't able to win by a narrow margin. Narrow margin. And actually, it kind of ties into what I wanted to ask you next, which was, what do you want to see with the Raiders' outlook in the upcoming years? Right now, they're projected as the number 5 draft pick.
Okay.
So tell me how you see them going. We have a lot of Raiders fans in the league, as you know, so...
We're obviously drafting a quarterback, so I need that for sure. If
Who are you
it's
looking
Sanders,
for?
if it is Sanders, I'm cool with that.
Think he's making it to 5?
We could lose some more games. We could lose some more, but if
That's true.
we could get Sanders, I'm
The
cool
other
with
teams
that.
up there are the Titans, the Browns, all teams which really need quarterbacks. What do you think about Jalen Milroe?
That guy from Alabama? I don't really like him.
No?
I don't like him or Beck or I
No?
don't think they're gonna.
Quinn
make it.
Ewers?
Texas guy, right?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Because I'm hoping we get him if we don't get
Really?
Shador.
Oh, but yeah, you guys have the first one. You don't want Cam Ward?
Possibly Cam Ward. Who's the other one? Jackson Spark?
I haven't heard of that one.
Okay.
He's good though.
Yeah, he's good too. And then
Okay.
another one was the guy from Miami.
The Cam Ward dude.
Oh, that's Cam Ward. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
But if we could get a quarterback this draft,
All right,
Get
so
like a-
2025 quarterback in the draft.
like a
Are
running
you
back. at
keeping
least.
Max Crosby?
Oh, for sure. That's our That's a heart and soul right there.
Because isn't he coming up on a contract year?
I think we paid him already. I'm not 100% sure,
okay.
but
Okay, cool. Because that's kind of the big superstar that you currently still have.
yeah,
I mean,
man.
obviously, Tay got pitched to the Jets now to burn in wide receiver hell.
Sucks for you, Tay. We're enjoying it though.
Once Aaron Rodgers, now they're talking about getting rid of Rodgers. So he went up there, he fucked everything up, and then he's gonna dip.
Sounds like Rodgers. Sounds like an AR thing to do.
One of the most unlikable players in the league, I would probably say.
He's up there.
He's up there.
Top two, not two.
He's up there for sure. Well, so wide receiver, keep Max Crosby. What about the next couple years?
Hopefully we could just build on our defense and they could carry us out while Shador's grow. Or if we get Sanders, he could grow into something nice. But
Any skill position player pickups?
like free
You're
agents
hoping
or
for?
anything? Like
Because you guys are kind of lacking still at RB and at wide receiver. Which way would you like to see them go? Or maybe they trade for somebody.
like say if Genty falls to us or something like that.
That would be smooth.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be very nice. Build up on our line too in the draft and maybe draft a
Isn't
quarterback.
he going this year, though?
He is going. Is he?
I think he's going this year.
Okay, then maybe if we don't get Sanders, pick up Genty.
Yeah. And then look for quarterback next year.
Or sign Daniel Jones if we could.
Hey,
He's
Maybe.
nice.
he's a free agent now. I mean, people are talking about what if he gets signed by the Cowboys and beats the Giants on Thanksgiving, which is today on the episode releases.
That would be nice. That would make my day. That would make my day seeing him sad like that.
Honestly, if that happened, I don't know what I'd have to do. I'd have to become a recluse. I couldn't talk to anybody for weeks.
Sitting in the dark room, just
I'm already so mad about how they handled that situation. We totally robbed ourselves. Which, now going into the next question, I think this is a story is that not often told, and I want to immortalize it here. Speaking about getting robbed, why don't you tell us about the time you got robbed while you were working at Subway, which is where we met. We both worked at Subway together about 10 years ago. Tell us about that.
just like what? It's like 8, 9 o'clock at night, in there by myself. Setting up the station, putting my lettuce in there,
Everything hella clean.
tomato, making it look nice. And I just see 2 kids busting into the door with like some guns on me.
Damn, you said they were wearing masks
They were
too?
masked, all hoodied up and everything too.
Bust through the door?
Bust through the door. They didn't break it or anything, but they just bust through it.
Yeah.
All I did was just run through the fucking back door to the 7-Eleven down the street.
And I've seen the footage of you dipping back. Do you have it by any chance?
I think I could find it
If you
somewhere.
could find it, send it to
I
me.
got
I'll
you.
post it here so you guys can see.
Scariest
But
moment
he
of my
goes,
entire life.
it's literally door opens and Raul is just a blur.
Like the flash out there.
Like the Flash, man. Gone out the back door. And then what's actually even makes it funnier was that I had just started working there and it was like a couple weeks in. And it was happened to be on a day where I was like, let me go get a couple subs. And I pull up and it's all locked down and everything. I'm like knocking on the door. So tell me your side of the story at that point. What did you do between the robbery and that point, and then explain it from there too?
So we called the cops, and then I called my manager and everything. And then I came back to the store just to like check up on everything.
Where did you go?
7-Eleven. So like I dipped out the
Booked
back
into
door.
the 7-Eleven.
Booked out the back door, and I ran to 7-Eleven. Like got everything set up. Called while I set with our manager at the time.
Yeah.
And then I
What
went
did
back.
she tell you to do? To reopen and keep serving subs?
She said go make sure everything's good.
Okay.
But she said call the cops and everything, make sure everything's good. And I was like, all right, I got you. So I went back to the store. Nobody was in there. Made sure. There was like a little stick on the ground. So I came in there like this and shit.
You're wielding the stick.
Like, what is that going to do?
Yeah.
But,
Bringing a stick to a gunfight.
But not even like 10 minutes later, I hear someone knocking on the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, we're closed.
Did you get all sus?
Yeah. We're closed. I'm not opening for no one.
Yeah.
And then I see Dimitri and Donka, your sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And then I go peek. I was like, we're closed, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, what? You just got robbed? What an insane coincidence and happening. And then did you go home the rest of that night or?
I dipped out. I was like, I'm not dealing with this.
It's wild. Now the shit that they put us subway workers through, having to work overnight by ourselves.
Out here, that's all.
I mean, what were they gonna steal? We were making like $1,000 the whole day in the register,
right?
Dumping the like they probably would have come up with $200, but
dumping bills in the safe when we can't.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, well, it's funny. I'm glad you're all safe and sound, bro. And
we still here.
It's still here, and we can talk about that as a funny experience. And we've had actually a couple good funny experiences. As you guys may know, me and Raul like to take the occasional road trip or out of town trip every now and then. And this year in 2024, we actually doubled up and we went out of town twice together. So I wanted to get your take as kind of a quick summary of each trip and then give me a highlight and a low light of each one. So first, chronologically, I think it was Formula Drift, right?
Formula Drift was lit. It was dope as fuck. Seeing cars slide in the rain, slow motion.
It was raining.
You can't beat it. But coming with rain comes a story, you know? So before it started to like pour, or they passed out these little ponchos, right?
Yeah.
To everyone. I grabbed mine. Dimitri grabs one. He's like, I don't need this shit, you know?
I have my rainproof jacket. I was like, shit, I wore this in Seattle.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, good.
You'll be
so
all right.
I handed it to the girl that was behind me. She was kind of cute. I was like, here you go.
All due respect. Hey, it was clutch moment right there for you. You did good. So like as the day goes on, it starts pouring even more and more. It's a fucking hurricane out there. And guess who doesn't have a fucking poncho to wear? This guy over here.
I'm suffering, man. I'm suffering. I'm sitting with my legs exposed. Tell him about the t-shirt baggie.
So, I don't know where the fuck he found this little bag at.
From a t-shirt we bought, I think.
He's over here carving all of his little goodies and everything he got from the day. And his legs. And just with a little bag just over here.
I had split the plastic from the bag open, which is probably like this big. So I have a little strip of plastic like this big across my legs. And I'm like curled in like this. We're watching the show. Raul's got his poncho on.
Oh my! I look over at some point. I'm like, yo, I can't do it anymore. It just
we made it so close to the end.
But
before we had even got there, we went through a whole struggle journey on our own. Tell them about the struggle we went through to fly to LA.
I made us miss our flight. Typical Raul, always late.
Had to take a princess shower in the morning.
Always. So we missed our flight. We were stressing out if we should buy another flight or not, but Spirit, I think it was, hooked us up and gave us a free flight later on in the day.
Yeah.
So we had to spend like a good, 6 hours just in Vegas again, but we didn't want to go back home.
It was a few hours, and we decided to drive to the nearby bar by the airport ghetto bar with all of our luggage.
Looking
we played darts.
We played darts.
Yeah.
You beat me for sure. And then at some point, we got on our flight or whatever. But when we got to LA, we landed in...
Wait, so we had switched airports. They told us when we went to Spirit and we were like, hey, we missed our flight. They're like, okay, we can fly you there in 2 hours, but it's going to be to the other airport in LA, LAX. And we were supposed to land in John... What's the other one called?
Sense. The Orange County one, right?
The Orange County one. We're supposed to land in Orange County. And then I was like, we were discussing it. And we were like, should we buy another ticket, which is like another $100 whatever bucks each, so we can fly to the right airport? It was still the same couple hours. And I was like, why would we pay? We could just Uber there. So tell the guys about our experience with once we landed and the Uber.
So we had to take a whole shuttle, I think, right? Or some point, or we just walked?
No, we took a
shuttle to
we
the
did
Uber?
take a shuttle first to the Uber place.
We took a shuttle to the Uber place. And then we were going to the other airport, we was looking at Uber prices, and that shit is at $150.
I know. It was $150.
And I was
It was
like,
an
bro.
hour drive in an Uber.
It was like, all right, this is hitting the pockets, but you know what? It is what it is. We're in LA. My boy had a rental waiting for us.
It's now like 3-4 in the afternoon, and we're going through LA traffic.
He had plans for the entire day, and I fucked it up. My bad.
No. And so now the whole day is ticking by. We're at 4 in the afternoon. We're taking 1 hour Uber to the other airport, which cost us $150. But I think we smooth talked the guy, and he said, "Give me 100 cash."
He said, just give me 100, and then we'll call it even. I was like, I got you.
Yeah.
So we got into the Uber. That made it a little better. Got to the rental, picked that up.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened with the rental?
We picked the rental up, vibing. It was like ASAP, just vibing.
It felt like we had
music.
reached the fucking Holy Land when we finally got to the rental place. We're like, we fucking made it. We're gonna have a good time from now forward. So we get in the rental, and it's about another hour to get back to Orange County or wherever we were supposed to land, through LA deep traffic. And then what happened with the car?
The oil light turns on.
The oil light fucking turns on.
It was middle of the highway. My boy
I had to pull over and bumper to bumper fucking stop traffic in LA. Check the fucking oil. I mean, it was a little low, but it was this stressful situation where now, do I call the rental place and waste the whole rest of this day for them to get somebody over here, replace the car or whatever the fuck they're gonna do? Or do we just push it and then maybe I'd blow the engine on the rental?
Guess what we did.
And that's what we did. Of course, we're not gonna fucking spend. I was already so pissed about how much behind we were, and I just wanted to get to the goddamn place. And once we got there, we didn't even drive the rental at all anymore until we were gonna leave, and we bought oil
Yep.
to put in the fucking car.
That was a whole experience too. Again.
That was a whole fucking experience. So I guess we could say that that's the low light.
That was a low light for sure. The bag, all of it. It was pretty bad. But you know what? We had some good steaks out there. 4 for 4 Fahrenheit, right?
Oh,
that was fucking fire.
They were hella good.
That was good.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, we still got to see our show.
The show was cool.
The show was dope. Hey, ultimately I had a good time. We got fucked up.
He bought a bottle of Don Julio. You know what? Actually, that wasn't the trip when we were doing a turnaround. The turnaround was the next trip, right?
Yep.
So anyway, just erase that little detail from earlier. But regardless, we were going to. The thing about Long Beach is we had gone before, right? And was it 2016?
2016.
Almost 10 years. But we found out the place where all the race car drivers like to go to. It's called the Pike.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we went to, our spirits were pretty much already crushed, like before FD. And then we went to FD, and it was a good ass time. And then between FD and going to the Pike, we were like, do we even want to like go out and drink again? And Raul had just caught the fucking spark of the flame. He bought a bottle of Don Julio, and we went and we played Madden in the hotel. And every big play the other person made, we would have to take a shot at Don Julio. So by the time we went and we met all the race car drivers, I was so drunk. I was fucking mumbling my words and shit. Half of them were really cool. A couple of them were kind of dicks, but I don't blame them because I was like, dude, James Dean.
Fuck it, you gotta take your chance.
But it was a good it was a good time. And I would say it was a overall good trip, good experience. Formula Drift number 2.
Shout out Donut.
Hey, Donut Media. I also bought a hat that weekend that I got signed by all the Donut Media dudes.
Yes, sir.
Matt Field, and then a couple of the other race car drivers.
The hat is clean.
That hat is probably the trophy from our weekend that we suffered through to attain. All right, and then that leads us into the second trip that we took, which we learned our lesson. What lesson did we learn, Raul, about getting to LA and back from Las Vegas?
Just drive.
Just fucking drive. Just drive, because of all the complications at the airport, our luggage, our check-in, the fucking line, all that shit, man. It's not even worth it. We get a rental car, drive to LA.
Same amount of time, honestly.
Same amount of time. From the moment you leave your house in the morning to go to the airport, to get checked in, to fly there, to get on the ground in LA, it's the same amount of time. So, right off the bat, much better, smoother transition into the trip. And this was the one where it was a turnaround trip, so we were driving. But there was no weird delays or anything that fucked us over. So, give us a quick rundown and then give us our best and worst moments from that trip.
I don't think there was any bad moments from that trip, to be honest.
Honestly.
It was a smooth little...
Smooth, fun trip. We had some bomb-ass Korean... What was it?
That ramen? Yo.
That ramen?
It was like
It's called sukomen. And it was dry noodles with all the ingredients of the ramen, but with the broth as like a sauce. And then you would take the noodles and put it into the broth. My mouth is fucking watering.
We found that spot like just randomly too. Like,
On foot.
Yeah, we were walking around just looking for something to eat, and we are like, "Yo, this looks good."
Yep. And tell them about that plaza. It was all Asian letters, so we couldn't read shit.
Yeah, like in the middle of Chinatown, and you're just like, "Okay, what is all this?" We just see some ramen shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay. Head over there.
That shit was a hit on the pick for sure.
Hey, that was a good choice, bro.
Hella bomb. I'll always remember that. I actually looked up Sukomen in Las Vegas, but I couldn't find any. So if you guys know,
Let us know.
let us know.
We'll be there.
But what were we there to see?
The greatest trio of all time, the fantasy footballers.
The fantasy footballers. A couple of you guys already know because I talk about the fantasy footballers all the time. They're a fantasy podcast, and me and Raul have been following them since the early days. And so we went to go see them live.
And we got a hell of a show.
We did.
We did. Saw Jason.
Jason, tell him about his prediction that went true.
Mr. Dennis Allen got caught out by Jason Moore, to get fired 10 games in.
And it came true.
And it came true.
He knew.
He went on like a 10-minute rant just...
A whole rant about how much he hates Dennis Allen.
And it was worth it.
It was worth it. That was a fun trip. We were so fucking tired by the time we got there. We took a picture. I may or may not put it in the podcast depending on how fucking much time I have, but we were so tired. We took a picture when we got there and it was supposed to be like, yeah, this is us. And we both just dejected. Just
So lost our body.
because we got up at 6 to pick up the rental car, start driving to LA, and we got there in the afternoon. And then basically we wanted to squeeze in like some other fun thing. Tell us about that museum we went to.
Oh, a little museum in downtown. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's definitely always good to see like some type of art, some type of...
A little bit of culture.
Yeah,
It was pretty packed in there
it
too.
was.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. Do you remember? Or?
It was something like kind of social justice-y. It was like the Queen or something like that.
It's in LA. It's a good...
We saw original Andy Warhol pieces.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's yeah.
So we were able to pack in a good amount of things into that one, basically less than 24-hour trip.
Yeah, we went to we got little ice cream sandwiches right after.
Oh,
too,
those ice
though.
cream sandwiches
Fire.
were so fucking good. Fat ass ice cream sandwiches where they let you customize everything on it. They were like, what kind of cookie do you want? What ice cream? What kind of toppings? And you had to eat that bitch with a knife and fork. A spoon and knife.
He was grubbing on that for sure.
Grubbing on that.
But yeah, by the time we got to the actual show though, what was it, like 6?
Yeah.
Like 6 o'clock?
And we got there an hour before it
Got there an hour before. So like we were kind of just drained at that point.
Yeah.
And I just remember like you took that picture and I was like, fuck.
We were standing in line with all these dudes and they were all like, you know, kind of like nerdy looking or whatever. And I looked at Raul and I was like, look at all these fucking nerds. And then I was like, hold on. We are the fucking nerds. We're the fucking nerds.
Gladly.
So that was a good fucking trip. It was a lot of fun. And all right, well, next up I actually have a fun little game, but we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. All right, we are back. And like I said, I have a little game which I thought would be fun because everybody likes to give me shit every time I make any type of rankings for the league. And nobody, I feel like, really realizes how hard and controversial that is going to be. So you guys all know me as well. I like a little controversy. So I'm going to have Raul rank everybody in the league as their team position and strength right now. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Okay. But before we get into that, I wanted you to give a little shout out to the special club that we have. So look at the camera, do the hand signal, and then read the names out.
We got the Dub Club. Dub Club this week, we got Donnie, Edwin, Eric, Henny, and yours truly, Raul.
Congratulations, fellas. All right, so that's yours. It's got the list of everybody on there. That's your marker.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to read a couple of league information things for the guys. So, quick reminder, we have our final league meetup for name points coming up this Sunday. And that's going to be for Sunday Night Football. We have the Niners playing the Bills. And we're going to have it at Ye Olde PT's. And if you guys are not familiar yet, that's what I call the one at Maryland. That's what I call the one at Bermuda and Silverado Ranch. But I also wanted to bring up another league meetup that we have at the end of the season once it's already over. It's not going to be for name points, but it's going to be our awards ceremony. And so that's where we're all going to meet up. We're going to hand off the trophy to the new champion, and all of the top 3 players are going to collect their winnings. And I think that we kind of already started a tradition with that being at B-Dubs on Warm Springs and Las Vegas Boulevard. So I'm going to host that there again at the same location. It'll be for one of the playoff games. So keep an eye out during one of those weekends. But yeah, date TBD, and that's where we will be meeting. So let's give Raul a moment here to come up with his rankings, and then we'll review.
I think we got it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, so the top 3, still the same as our leaderboard. We got Henson at number 1. Sure. Myself at number 2.
Okay.
Edwin at number 3.
Oh, Edwin.
All right, that's where a change-up happens.
Okay.
We got Donnie at number 4.
Donnie at number 4. He's currently
I like his team.
7th in the rankings, in the standings.
Yep.
Ranked number 4 on Raul.
If he makes the playoffs, he's kind of scary.
Okay, I agree. I don't disagree. I feel like his team has one that has been hosed as much as mine has during this season.
Yes. Eric at number 5. Chef at number 6.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Greg, number 7. Sorry, Vaughn, number 8.
See, this is the part where you have to start feeling sorry, because everybody who you rank in the bottom is going to give you shit.
And then obviously number 9, Dimitri.
Does that mean number 10 is?
Of course.
It's Chef?
Jano Hurts.
Oh, Jano Hurts. Jano Hurts at number 10.
Yeah, I had Chef at 6 though.
Chef at 6. Yeah. Chef at 6. So go through them from top to bottom again one more time.
Yeah. So we got 1, Hinton. 2, myself. 3, Edwin. 4, Donnie. 5, Eric. 6, Chef. 7, Greg. 8, Vaughn. And 9, Dimitri. Trash. And number 10, Jano Hurts.
All right. Okay. Well, there we have it.
Sorry,
Raul's
fellas.
power rankings. Everybody flame this guy in the group chat and talk to him about why they shouldn't be where you are. Because that seems to be the outcome of every power ranking.
The only one I would change, to be honest, is Vaughn's.
To higher or lower.
Like, if he had a better record and he made the playoffs, his team is kind of nasty, too.
But Jano Hurts at number 10?
It's mandatory.
Damn.
I'm sorry, boss.
Rough. If you're Jano Hurts. Tag team.
You should have accepted my trade. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. The truth comes out.
The
truth comes out. These rankings are biased. All right. Good shit. And then one last thing as tradition before we send these guys off into our Thursday night. Well, let's give everybody a happy Thanksgiving because it is Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Hope you guys all enjoy and are spending the time with your family or people that care about you. Everybody enjoys a good meal and just watches some football and relaxes and takes in everything that we're blessed with. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining the show this week on our Thanksgiving special.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here with you, bro. You do a lot for the league, and I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to the fellas at home. Everybody enjoy. I hope you have a good time listening to our 30-minute special. But there's some good stories in there, and you guys know where you'll see me next week on the last episode of the season for the Fantasy Freestyle Podcast. You know I got something special. We'll see you there.
Peace.